Well, here we are, Monday night. It is regional consultant Mary Wine's first accountability call with me. She was bang on time for giving me a call, which is wonderfully appreciated, of course. And I'm very interested after the invites that we did last night to see how everything went. But first of all, let me just check that Mary's on the line. Mary, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hello, my lovely. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Fantastic. All right. Well, there's no sugarcoating. Let's dive straight on in. How was your first Monday? How was it today?
My first day was okay. It was okay to good. Yep.
So tell me all about it.
So I wound up doing my first two calls. The first one went great. That was with Diane, and I have an appointment set for next week. The second one was with Jeannie, and that it went okay. No, it didn't go okay. It wasn't great.
Okay.
I didn't have.
Well, let's address that one first.
Mhm. Yeah,
so what happened? Why didn't it go great?
So I started off. Well, when we talked about it last night, I was leaning more towards the kind of an opinion approach.
Yeah.
But then I thought about it, and I was like, no, direct approach is best. So I went direct. And she was like, "Oh no, I'm not good at those things." I did put in one of the first things out of my mouth was that I was in a hurry. I was getting ready to start a conference call shortly. But remember, I told you she was very sharp and very inquisitive, and she just went there, and I couldn't get off the phone, so it almost turned into a mini presentation.
Oops.
Because fell down that rabbit hole.
So kind of give it to me as accurately as you can. So you said, hey, I've got something I want you to take a look at, and she came back with what?
I think it was like in the midst of my why. She was already kind of intuitive that there was something else going on, and she said, "What do you have going on, or whatever?" And she said, "And one of the things I need to tell you is that I started a business." And so she was saying that she was starting her own business and was speaking about some of the excitement with that, and.
Did she say what it was?
Yes.
What's she doing?
She's going to be independent consulting for some software opportunities.
All right. So she said, she kind of cut you off a little bit. She then said, I'm doing my own thing. But then how did she kind of shut you down? What happened?
She was saying, well, she was pretty much in her zone saying, like, yep, she's got her own thing. She's going to be doing this. What are you doing? So I can, I'd probably have some contacts for you.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah. And so.
But that sounds okay.
Yeah. Well, yes.
So here's the deal. Here's the deal, Mary. If someone's just started their own business, they are excited, whether it's a network marketing business, a restaurant, or whatever. They're excited about their new business, and their heart belongs to that new business, like you got a new boyfriend or like you got a new girlfriend. And so her timing is wrong. Know that right from the outset. Her timing is wrong. It's not a no, it's a not now, because we've got to allow her to give her love and attention and nurturing instinct to her new business. And anything we would do would get in the way of what she's currently doing. Now, I'm not saying that's 100% across the board. Some people are still open to look and this type of thing. But just know when someone starts their own business, they're already, in love with that. And you should respect that and say, Jeannie, that is awesome. That's exactly the same reason why I started my own thing, and encourage her and say that's really good for you to have a plan B, or for her to even have a plan A, or whatever it is, and taking control of your own life and be really enthusiastic about her business. That's the first thing that I would. Remember how many we need. How many do we need?
Just 3.
Right. So it's okay to be really encouraging and get a great reputation and a great relationship with her, because she feels really good about her business. Because, and I certainly do not wish it upon her, but let's say 6 months down the line, her business is not going so well and she's looking again. The last time she spoke to you, you were nothing but encouraging, nothing but supportive. You were not in any way predatory. You weren't trying to hunt her down or anything. And she will give you the time of day to have a second look, because if this hasn't gone right, the timing will be right. So your job right now is to be really encouraging with what she's currently doing. Know that you are at the wrong time. That being said, I would still say, Jeannie, listen, I understand it's not your thing right now, but my business is all about networking, and it's all about people knowing what I'm doing. I know it's not going to be something for you at the moment with your new business, completely cool, but I'd still love to show you what I'm doing, because I would love, because you're going to know people who are looking for a plan B, and I'd love you to be able to feel comfortable about referring me. So I would still go, or still have gone, for showing her the business plan, even though she's not going to do it. Let's grab some coffee anyway. It's only, go ahead.
Yeah, so, and that's really the way it played out. I think I was very positive about it, and I said, yep, I get it, I understand, this is going to be real exciting for you. I'm so proud of you. I'm happy for you.
Awesome.
And I said, when you're a little bit farther along, I think I know some contacts who might be able to help you. And
awesome.
Also, and then she's like, well, what about what you're doing? And so, it was a very mutual, supportive type of conversation going back and forth. And,
great. And that's the best you can hope for. That is really good. Well done. That's great.
And we do have a lunch set up for next week.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's good. And I did say at that time, I'm like, well, I absolutely know that you're saying this isn't right for you. I said, but I still want to show you what I'm working on, so that when you're thinking of other people that you can connect me with, you'll have a better idea of what I'm doing and what kind of people I'm looking for. And she was like, absolutely.
There you go. Perfect. That was totally respectful. And again, what we're always trying to do, I know my friend, executive consultant Adam Carey and Michelle Carey are always trying to elevate the industry. And this is our little part of doing that, is allowing people to have their own business, allowing people to say, no, this isn't for me right now, and taking it like a grown-up and saying, well, that's perfectly fine. It's not necessarily for anyone, and obviously everyone's timing is different, and that's perfectly fine. Love you to take a look, because there are some people out there who are looking for something like this. And the reason why you're going to show her anyway is firstly because you need her to take a look, but secondly, she could become your customer. And thirdly, she very well could be able to introduce you to someone else. So you dealt with that perfectly. So you say it wasn't so great. Actually, it was fine.
Yes.
I mean, if you've got 2 appointments to look at the video, and so as far as I'm concerned, that's 100% record. So that's awesome. Sound like you dealt with it perfectly as well. So good for you, Mary. That's perfect.
Well, if you think that was a good day, because I guess
absolutely, I do.
We're harder on ourselves than others are on us. I was like, I didn't feel like that I really exercised the posture thing the way I should. So I'm like, I'm going back in. I'm inviting one more person today. So have you? Well,
have you done another invite as well today?
I did 3 today. Yes.
Okay. Well, hold on. Before we get to the third one, let's just finish up on that second one. Yeah. Don't be too hard on yourself. Remember, we need 3 good people. okay?
Mm-hmm.
And if you do 2 invites a day with an accountability call every day, 5 days a week, week after week after week, you will find your 3 very, very simply. Just do what you need to do, plug them in, and they will do the same thing. So, because if you beat yourself too much up on something like this, and you think, well, I could have done, maybe you could have done it better, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Her timing's not right anyway. You could have done the most incredible posturing. You could have had the perfect invite. It could have been perfect in every way. Her timing's not right. Sorry, dude. This is how it is. So don't beat yourself up about it. You've got 2 great appointments, one of which could be 33%. If she joins, that's 33% of the work we're trying to do, to find the 3 people. Jeannie is going to be someone who could be a customer and a prospect for other contacts, and maybe a prospect down the line. No, you did absolutely perfect. That is absolutely 100% success rate there. The definition of a good day for you is not because everybody said yes, but because you did what you were supposed to do, whether you got a no or a yes. So you had a good day. That's perfect. You dealt with it perfectly, and the more you do it, the more you'll be more comfortable with your posture. You said you could have maybe done a better deal with the posture, and that may be true, but that's just practice. No, you did great. That's perfect. So let's move on and let's talk about that 3rd invite. What happened there?
So the 3rd invite was Chris, and it went very smoothly. You know, I started off in a hurry.
Good.
You know, I did a tiny bit of small talk, just kind of, hey, you know, what's going on, and shared. Then I said, well, you know, I just wanted to let you know that, you know, we talked so much about our financial goals, and I wanted you to know that I've been working on a business or a project that has become very successful, and it has allowed me to close that income gap that I was staring at before. And he was like, oh, yeah, what's going on? And I said, well, like I said, I gotta run here. I have a conference call in about 3 minutes. But if you want to meet for lunch tomorrow, I can fill you in on all that. And I said, and in fact, because I really think that it may be a good option for you. And he said, all right. He's like, I think I'm free. I have to take so-and-so to the airport. Let me check that, and I will call you back this evening. So,
awesome. That was perfect. A slight tweaking on your posture. Not, do you think we can have lunch? Let's have lunch tomorrow. Not, do you think we could have lunch? But we talked about that yesterday. Your natural bent, because you're such a kind, sweet person, is to just check that it's okay with them. But we're actually slightly different, posturing slightly differently here. So I would say that's, you know, and I think it could be something for you. So when do you have time to get together for lunch? You may want to put in, it may or may not be your thing, remember. It may or may not have been important in that particular invite at that particular time, but it may be if he rejects you down the line. The reason why we have that, and I probably talked about this on the call, that it may or may not be your cup of tea, is to protect you. First of all, it makes him relax. Secondly, it is a little bit of a takeaway, which is kind of nice. But also, if down the line he looks at it and he goes, you know what, Mary, this is awesome and it's great for you, but it's just not for me. I'm just not interested. Then you're able to say, well, you know, Chris, remember I said it may or may not be your cup of tea. May or may not be your cup of tea, and that's perfectly fine. Perhaps you could become my customer and give it a look, and let's see how my business goes, and let's talk again in maybe 3 to 6 months. So it's a very nice way, because you say it, you know, you said it a few days ago when you invited. It actually, the value can be, you know, in after the presentation if he says no. And sometimes people say no. It's just it's mostly so very important about protecting your own feeling of rejection. You know, you want to enjoy this business, and being rejected is not fun. And that's a way of protecting you. So it sounds like you did perfect. So you actually got, we haven't got the appointment just yet, but he's going to get back to you and confirm that appointment, correct?
Yes.
So 3 for 3.
That's the way it
Dang,
works.
girl.
Woo!
Woohoo! You should be excited about that. That is really, really awesome. Good for you, my lovely.
I really am. It took me a minute to, okay, now I got time. let's get these calls done.
Let's get it done, because otherwise Richard's not going to be very happy with me tonight.
That too, yes. But once I got started, I was like, okay, yeah. The first one went well. I felt fully in control of the first one from start to finish. Then the second one, I was like, whoa, with Jeannie, but it was able to come back around to, I think a satisfactory outcome for both of us. And then the third one, it went fairly smooth. That the thing that you said about posture, and that is my thing. I don't want to invade on people's schedule, because I don't want people invading on mine, and I know that's a necessary mind shift that I have to do in order.
Well, actually, it's funny you should say that, Mary. Sometime, I'm not sure, but sometime this week I want to get together, actually face to face with you, either for lunch or dinner. What's usually best for you?
Dinner.
Now, did I offend you by saying that?
No.
We're not going to get together, but I just wanted to practice. I wanted you to kind of get a feel for what it feels like. I know that you laughed, so you knew what I was doing. And that's exactly it. Hey, let's get together. It's, hey, Mary, let's get together. It's you and me. I know you. You know me. It's okay. You know Chris. Hey, let's get together for lunch. I'd love to show you what I'm doing. Not can we. It's very, and again, so I know you already recognize you're going to need to change your posture, but don't feel bad about it. Don't feel that it's encroaching on other people. It's just a change in language. That's all. And when you hear it, when you're receiving it, it feels perfectly fine, right? If I was going to call you and say, hey, let's get together, on Thursday or Friday lunchtime, I'm not sure how busy you are, and which one's best for you, you'd be like thinking, You're not thinking, oh, that's really rude for him to blah, 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 blah. You're thinking, no, that'd be great. I'd love to see Richard anyway, and blah, 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 right? So you feel good about it. So don't worry about it. The posture's fine, just as a slight change of wording. Okay. So that's probably one of the biggest things you're going to get out of this week is your posturing for a really intentional appointment. That's going to really help you in this business. So that being said, let's get a couple more invites done. Where's our list here? We got Chris, we got Diane. Did we do Diane? I think we did, didn't we?
We did.
Yes, we did. Yeah, of course.
She was my first call today.
Got it. So we've got Lisa and Jin and Charity. Let's get an invite for Lisa and Jin. Tell me a little bit about Lisa.
So Lisa is a friend of mine that when I first got into AMBIT and was just trying to see a few bills and just grab a couple customers real quick, I called her. Turned out she was in a co-op. But because of where I was in the business, like, hey, I'm just trying to, look at some bills, as part of my training, this, that, and the other. It was a very open dialogue about what I was working on. And then, we had talked briefly about, she's like, well, let's take a look at this a little bit later. She's like, I'm swamped with some other things right now, but, I did Excel, and, I used to do insurance. And so.
Oh, my God. She's a killer.
Right.
She's a big, great guy.
Yeah. So, and she said right there, she's like, I'm just super busy right now. Can't do one more thing, but I do want to talk about this more later. So.
Okay. So how are you going to invite her?
I don't know. This is one that I really needed some guidance on because I've already reached back out to her once since then, and she was like, "Oh, I'm busy. I'm still trying to get some stuff behind me. I need a few more weeks, about a month or so."
And how long ago did you last speak to her?
It's been maybe 5 weeks now, so it's an appropriate time to reach out.
All right. I would be really, really, really postured and I would say, hey, Lisa, it's time. My AMBIT business is just killing it. I've already promoted in the business. I'm making some really good money. It's time for you to take a look at this. Whether the time is ready for you to start or not, that's something else. But it's time for you to take a look. When are we getting together for lunch? You don't need any why in there. You don't need any takeaway in there. You don't need anything. Just a direct approach, because she already knows you're in AMBIT. She already has said, like, I do things like this. I would just literally you don't even need to be in a hurry. I would literally, although it probably would be a good idea to be in a hurry to create some urgency, I would say, hey, Lisa, it's Mary here. Been meaning to reach out to you because it's time for us to get together. You need to take a look at this business. It is just taking off for me. I've already promoted in the business. I've already got, talk a little bit about your success. And where you need to take a look, and then say to her, you need to take a look at what we're doing. Whether the timing's right for you or not, make that decision after you've looked, and that's perfectly fine. But let's get a look this week, because if it's something for you, then there's all sorts of promotions and deals and something that'll make it attractive for you. But what are you doing on Friday after work? So I would go very direct, no nonsense, straight to the point. Now, how does that sound to you?
That sounds fine. I was kind of, in other situations, you've recommended talking about, let's put the friendship, our friendship first and all that kind of stuff. But I was hesitant about putting that in this kind of, in this invitation, because I thought it would make it seem even more weird.
Absolutely. She's already told you she did excel. She's given you permission. She knows how the game works.
Got it. Yep.
So I would clear the decks. Excuse me. Sorry. Be in a hurry, by all means, to create some urgency. Just say, I'm following up with you. We've got to get together. This thing's taking off for me. Be excited. This thing's taking off for me. I've promoted. I don't know if you know you've promoted or not already, but I've already promoted up through the ranks. And you need to take a look at what we're doing here, Lisa. Whether the timing is right for you or not to get started, let's still take a look so you know what's going on, because this is just too good to miss. Be excited.
Yeah.
What are you doing after work on Wednesday? What are you doing, when and have a look that way and get together face to face, one-on-one, show her the business, be respectful of the timing still not being right for her, and that's perfectly okay. But she'll make that decision. She'll know. I'll tell you this. If she went for Excel and she sees this the way you think she should see it, and maybe you should take Jared along with you, with a girl this good, have him do the presentation for you. I would. If she's the type, she'll jump in on this because she won't want to let it see it go by. She'll make it a priority if she's that type of girl. So I would have some urgency. Be excited. Put that big, beautiful smile on your face before you call, and arrange to get together with her and show what's going on. Give her the takeaway. It may or may not be your cup of tea, because we're not talking about that. It's right. Whether the timing's right for you or not. So it's still a takeaway, but it's just showing respect. That's a respectful thing that's not too weird for between friends. So that's the way to deal with this one.
Very good. Okay.
But be excited. Go drink a Red Bull before you make this call.
So you notice my personality is kind of like,
Well, the other alternative is you can give me a call. I'll come around your house and I'll chase you around the parking lot until you're really kind of super out of breath and your adrenaline's running like crazy. That'll get you going. And I can run. I don't look like I can run, so you better run, girl. And you'll be ready to.
I don't look like I can run, but I can run too. So it'll be tight.
People will be looking at us in the parking lot, going, "What are those two doing?" Can you imagine the news? That'd be crazy. The news would be filming me, this 50-year-old white man chasing you. It'd be just absolutely hilarious. It would be just so funny. We don't need to do that. A Red Bull will do the job. But
that'll be fine.
Pick it up. Exactly. All right, let's do one more invite, and then I'll let you go. Who else have we got? Is it Jen? You can pick one. All right, Jen.
Yes, Jen is fine. So,
all right, tell me a little bit about Jen.
I don't know Jim personally, but again, I'm kind of a creature of habit. I've been going to the same dry cleaner for a long time. He owns it. So, very familiar faces. Hey, so I just wanted to stop and talk to him about the business. So,
okay, and that's fair enough. So, but what type of approach would you take with him?
It would definitely be direct.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah, look at you. You've really kind of got this intuitive right now. So, you can go in, you be in a hurry, got to drop my clothes, got to be in a hurry. But I've been meaning to speak to you. I've always been so impressed. I would pay a compliment. I've always been so impressed with the way you run your business. You've always done, everything so well for me. You've always done so great with my clothes. I've never had an issue with quality or anything like that. Let me ask you, Jen, a direct question. Do you keep your options open for making extra money? Do you keep your options open for additional income if it doesn't stop you doing what you're currently doing? How do you want to phrase it? Do you look for additional income alongside your current business? However you want to word it, and shut up and wait for him to say yes, no, what have you got, or whatever. But I would be that direct. I'm in a hurry, pay him a great compliment, a sincere one, and then boom, straight in for a direct, do you keep your options open for extra income? He'll come back at you and he'll be honest, because he's a businessman. He may say, yeah, of course I do. Who doesn't? Or he may say, I'm so busy here. Dry cleaners are super busy usually. I haven't got time for anything. So you're going to need to be ready for either one of those two answers. But I would say, well, look, I want to buy you a cup of coffee, show you what I'm doing. I have a business that's working really, really well for me. There's some synergy between your business and my business. What are you doing? What time do you finish work? I think they usually take Wednesdays off. But he'll have a day sometime when he's not working, and arrange and say, look, let me buy you lunch, or let me buy you a cup of coffee and show you what I'm doing.
Mhm.
I would be that direct. Does that make sense?
Yes, very much so.
Did you get that and get it all written down? I'm going to post this. I'm actually just posting the other one as well. I didn't do it last night. I got kind of super tired after our last call and I went to sleep. But so this last night's call and this accountability call will be posted tonight. So if you want to kind of hear that over again, then you can hear that on the invite. But yeah, totally direct.
Yes. Yep.
And again,
I got it.
Remember, how many do we need?
Just 3 good ones.
So who cares? Truly, who cares? So whether it goes well, whether it goes badly, or whatever, you can word it in such a way that will protect yourself. But at the end of the day, who cares? If he does, great. If he doesn't, I don't care. And you need 3. All right. So with that, did you have any questions before we go?
No, I don't.
All right.
Feel pretty good about this. Know the next steps to take. I just got to do it.
All right. Well, if you need me to chase you around the parking lot tomorrow, give me a call. I'll get my running shoes on. Oh, Mary, you are the best. All right, my lovely. Thank you so much for getting on the call tonight. And I'm excited for what happens tomorrow. But great day today. 3 calls, 3 invites, 3 appointments. You get a gold star, my lovely.
Thank you.
Very, very good. All right, sweetheart. I will talk to you tomorrow night.
All right. Have a great night.
All right. And you. Bye-bye now.